We have to stop the hair wars, and we have to stop the infighting across the diaspora when it comes to certain things, because that long hair being seen as feminine is really rooted in patriarchy. Okay, you don't want black women to wear their bonnets out. If they wear a wig, it's like, oh, lace there, I can see her lace. Then it's like, okay, she wears her natural hair out. Then it's like, oh, she looking like she from the 70s. As a black woman with tighter coils instead of curls, I have been conditioned to believe that my hair is not attractive. And if I've been conditioned to believe that my hair is not attractive, then that means I can condition myself to view my hair as beautiful. Welcome back to Toffee Talks. Let's talk about natural hair, while I figure out what I'm gonna do with my hair. I washed my hair on Sunday. Today is Wednesday. So I've just been wearing it stretched in buns, ponytails. I had an idea, braids or flat twists, and I'm not really the best at parting. This section, like a arrow, and then this section would go back, and then these ones would come to the side, but trying to figure out how to do the parts this way, it's just presenting some issues. So now it just kind of makes me want to just braid it down to wear it wavy and just wear my afro tomorrow. Braid it or flat twist it like this weekend when I have more time. So let's talk about natural hair. I have a mirror right here, so sometimes I'm not going to be looking at the camera. My hair journey has been very interesting. My mom, see, I feel like the first part had potential. To me, it looks like it has potential. Maybe I was just trying to be too intricate. What if I do these braids and flat twists, or braids or flat twist this way, but then it's like, how will I bring it back around? If this is asymmetrical, then like, what do I do with this side? Like, yeah, I don't. Should I try to do a middle part? I don't know. My mom permed my hair when I was 7, which I feel like a lot of young black girls have a similar story, that their hair got permed when they were younger. And I didn't know what a perm was. I just remember my mom saying like, oh, it's gonna make your hair straight, it's gonna make your hair pretty. I was like, oh, well, I wanna be pretty, so let's do that. Yeah, the back of my hair is in a bun, but I don't know. What if, should I try to do flat twist? Also, just look at this. Like, I will say my hair stayed stretched, so the African threading has really helped. I remember her saying it was gonna make my hair pretty, whatever, and it broke my hair off. It broke my hair off. My hair broke off really bad, and it was no longer healthy at that point, obviously, because I don't have my computer. Usually when I'm recording videos, I put my computer right here so that way I can look stuff up online. But perms, I don't know. Is that, what is that? What is this part giving? I don't know. Am I delusional? It kind of looks okay to me. So my hair broke off, but I still kept getting perms for years. I got perms for years, even though it made my hair break off and it was just really dry. It was hard to manage and I had to keep getting it cut. And I was getting braids still. I was still getting braids. And then one time I went to a different braider and she broke my edges off, and I don't really remember what side it is. I think it's this side. This side of my edges is like a little thinner than this side. And it's been that way ever since that one lady braided my hair. Because why would you do that? My hair broke off from the perms. I kept getting perms until around high school. And mind you, I was getting perms and putting continuous heat. In middle school, I used to love wearing the bun at the top with the headband and a little bang. Ooh, I still love a good bang to this day. Even with my hair, even with my natural hair, if I'm wearing an Afro, I'm gonna put a little bang. I'm gonna put a little bang. So the real question is, do I have the attention span to record this video and try to do something in my hair? The flat twists are not gonna happen while I'm recording this video. I have to be very honest with myself. It's not gonna happen. Okay, I'm gonna pivot. So high school came around. I'm trying to think, was there like I feel like there was a canon event, like some type of movie or show, or I feel like there was something. I'm gonna be putting some Mazzani hairdress, unsponsored. I have 53 subscribers, so I feel like I don't have to say unsponsored, but maybe one day the subscriber count gonna be up. Y'all gonna think it was, yeah, unsponsored. But I feel like there was something that inspired me to go natural. Like, I don't think it was an original thought at that age, if I'm being honest. I don't think it was like, ooh, I'm gonna do this. But something happened that made me want to go natural. So I stopped getting perms and I just started wearing my Afro, but I didn't really know anything about natural hair. At that point, all I knew was like, okay, the lock method, but I didn't really understand porosity. I didn't understand, you know, that you need good detangling brushes. So I was just doing twist outs and braid outs, but I think the problem was maybe the moisture. I wasn't really moisturizing my hair properly, looking back. Also stretching. I don't know if I was fully like detangling before I was doing the twist outs, before I was doing, you know, hardly anything. Definitely wasn't using probably the right shampoo, conditioner, none of those things. This is not. Okay, I saw this video of this lady and she basically did like braids going to the front into a Bantu knot and then braids going to the back, but I've actually never braided going this way. So it's not as, let me try again. And I loved my hair. I felt beautiful. In high school, I felt beautiful. I felt like I am a beautiful, strong Black woman. It felt powerful for me to just be like, yes, this is my natural hair. So I went through high school with my natural hair. I would get braids sometimes, but I don't remember it being like I wasn't afraid to wear my Afro. That was actually like my poof. It was me and my poof against the world. Me and my poof against the world. I don't know if this is going better this time, if I'm being honest. Kind of has hopes and dreams. Okay, I'm not at that level where I can braid backwards like that woman did. It's just not happening for me. So because I want good curl definition in the front, I'm going to just do, I'm just gonna split this in half. And do it like this. Then I graduated and at first I didn't want to go to college. I wasn't gonna go to college, but I'll never forget my French teacher, Madame Taylor. She said, we need people like you in the world. I really think you should change your mind. I really think you should go to college. And I was like, I just feel like that was, you know, God and the Holy Spirit talking through her, because something about the way she said it, it just clicked for me. So I said, okay, I'm gonna go to college. But I knew I wanted to go to a HBCU. I was tired of being one of the only or the only in my classes. So I said, you know what? If I'm doing this, baby, we're doing it for the culture. I'm going to HBCU. I'm just playing in my head at this point. It's also like going on 8 o'clock and I worked a full work day, so the grind never stops. And that really did a lot for me and my hair because I was around so many muses, so many beautiful Black women who had their hair in different ways, and I never had a sew-in. And 2017, I feel like the girls were really killing it with the sew-ins, but I never lived my sew-in moment. But anyways, being on an HBCU campus, there were so many other women, other Black girls with their natural hair. There were some girls like with bust downs, with braids, with bald. Like, it was just really cool to experience and see. I never felt, at that point in my life, I didn't feel ugly with my natural hair or feel undesirable. I felt gorgeous, you know, empowered. So, maybe my junior year, I was going through some things. Junior year of college, I was going through some things. I woke up one day, I just got some scissors, started cutting my hair. I just went crazy. And I started cutting my hair off. So I cut my hair, and then I went to my ex-boyfriend's. I think I called him or texted him, and I was like, I need your barber. He's like, what do you mean? I said, just chopped all my hair off. So then I went to the barber, and the barber basically like cleaned me up, and now I was rocking a bald cut. I loved my bald head. I just genuinely loved it, and I thought it was so cute. And I feel like that was the first time that I recognized the idea that long hair being seen as feminine is really rooted in patriarchy, and it's designed to make a delineation between men and women. But because I was this young, fly, sexy, confident girl with a bald head, it's like, oh, the length of my hair doesn't define my femininity. It doesn't define my sensuality. Nobody could tell me nothing with my bald head. I could not be talked to. I could not be talked to. I could not be stopped, which I loved. I actually really loved that moment for me. I dyed it a bunch of different colors. I had fun with my bald head. But then I was like, okay, I had that for about a year. Pandemic hit. I was like, okay, I'm ready to grow my hair back out. So I grew my hair back out, and then growing my hair back out from bald was when that was the first time in my life with my natural hair that I started not to feel beautiful. I didn't feel beautiful. And I honestly, this is the first time that I've ever made this connection. I also switched my birth controls at that time. I was on Depo-Provera for 3 years, the first 3 years of college. My senior year, I switched to the birth control pill. I don't remember the brand of it, but that honestly, it ruined my life, switching birth controls and just not being aware of how much that can affect you and your body. So much changed. And now that I'm talking out loud, I really think that the changes that I was going through emotionally and physically added to me not feeling beautiful with my natural hair, because I didn't feel that way in high school and I didn't feel that way in college, but I switched birth controls and I wasn't aware that my birth control was having such an effect on me. At that time, I thought it was a lot of stuff that maybe hadn't processed, so I was just kind of going through it, honestly. And I didn't feel beautiful in my natural hair. I didn't feel the sexy, confident, young, fly girl who was just rocking a bald pink cut or a red spicy pink cut. She left. And I don't know where she went, and I couldn't find her. I couldn't find her. I was gaining weight. And obviously we know society's fat phobic. Unfortunately, at that time, I was also in a long-term relationship. And my partner was very vocal about the fact that I was gaining weight. And I think I just didn't feel attractive in any way. Body-wise, hair-wise, like I just didn't. And so the parts of this braid are not even at all, gonna be honest, but that's okay because it's just for a braid out. So I said, okay, I have a great idea. I'm gonna get locks. Grew my hair out for about a year. I think I got my locks in 2021. Yeah, I got my locks in 2021. The being in lock phase was hard. It was not easy. It was not a fun time. But I was excited because in my mind, I had a plan to grow my locks out, and then the plan was to always comb my locks out. Basically to just let my hair grow nice, long, and healthy, and then I was gonna comb them out and then have this long hair. Which, it's interesting that I said long hair because then that also gets into the patriarchy of it all, the intersectionality of it all. So that was always the plan. Then I got my locks. Once they started growing, I forgot the plot. I forgot that the goal was to grow my hair and comb them out. So I kept my locks for 5 years. And then right before my I'm 27 now. I didn't have my locks for my 27th birthday. So right before my 26th birthday, it might have been March. Yeah, my birthday's in April, so this was in March. I started combing out my locks. And I was like, okay, let's see what happens. So first I combed out my locks, and as I was combing them out, because I was doing it took me a month and a half. I was basically combing out 2 to 3 locks a day, and it would take hours. It literally took me 2 to 3 hours sometimes for one lock. And I had like a big thing of the Aussie conditioner. I bought that from Walmart, and I just would lather my hair in that. And look at the curl. And I was just combing my locks out. So I was basically braiding my hair back up after I combed it out because I was trying to disguise the fact that I was combing out my locks because I still had work. I still had priorities I had to do. So I didn't fully see what my hair looked like until I went to my stylist. So I went to the stylist and I was taking my braids out and I didn't realize how much hair I had. So by the time I got to my appointment, I hadn't fully took all the braids out. And she was like, why didn't you 2-strand twist it? I was like, I really don't know. I feel like it's been so long since I've worn my hair out. I don't know. I just braided it back up. And she was like, okay. So she helped me take the braids out. And as we were taking the braids out, I was like, wow, I have a lot more hair than I thought. I think I lost altogether with combing out my locks, a Walmart size bag, 1/2 to 3/4 of that. It was a good amount of hair that just came out from the detangling process. So when I combed my locks out, my hair was right at bra strap length. And that was the longest my hair had been. And I was so excited, but then obviously my hairstylist was like, you're gonna have to get it trimmed. There's a lot of dead ends because you haven't got your hair cut. in 5 years. Got braids, I got knotless braids. And then I just had my natural hair out, but I didn't know how to take care of it. So I just went back to doing what I was doing during high school. But high school, I wasn't focused on length retention, health, or anything. I was just focused on embracing who I was as a Black woman and being proud of my identity. So I was using really thick butters and oils and stuff like that. And this was April. And then I don't think I went back to the stylist until maybe like August or something like that. It was a while. And when I went back, she was, your hair was down your back, like your hair is broken off so much. So she we had to cut my hair. So my hair went from upper back, like right here-ish, to we had to cut it to maybe right here. And then I left and I was gone from my stylist for a little bit, and I came back and I think I had to get it cut again because I still hadn't figured out the routine. So then it was cut here. And I was asking her question, what do you think my porosity is? This time I wasn't sitting there. I'm like, okay, I obviously need to change what I'm doing, what I'm using. So she was asking me like, do I use a cleansing shampoo? She was asking me, what does my hair behave like when I do this, when I do that? She was like, okay, I think you have low porosity hair based on this. So then I was focused on the low porosity routine. Then on top of that, I started incorporating cleansing shampoo. So I was doing a 2-step process, a cleansing shampoo and a hydrating shampoo. And so I switched from like the heavy butters to like light oils. And she recommended some, and I basically started sticking with 2 brands. Mazzani and Design Essentials are pretty much the only products that I use on my hair. I have other stuff, but I just hardly use it, honestly. And so now that my hair, like I had cut it so much, I realized that part of the reason why I felt beautiful with my locks was because my locks had grown so long. Is that real beauty? Do I actually feel beautiful, or do I only feel beautiful because I'm in the beauty standard of long hair? So now that I comb my locks out, I was no longer existing in the space of patriarchal beauty because my hair was no longer long. And then I lost my confidence in my natural hair to I think texturism played a big part, because when I first combed out my locks, my curl pattern looked different once I washed my hair and stuff, and shrinkage. So then I had to realize what's going on. And that's when it hit me. As a Black woman with tighter coils instead of curls, I have been conditioned to believe that my hair is not attractive. And if I've been conditioned to believe that my hair is not attractive, then that means I can condition myself to view my hair as beautiful. So I would start doing styles. And when I would do the styles, I would look and I would say, if my hair was at under boob length, would I feel beautiful in this? And if the answer was yes, then I knew that I actually did look beautiful. I just was basing my beauty on patriarchal standards. If I did a style like a braid out or a mini twist or braids, I would say those ones, because those ones primarily I wanted the length attached. If I did a style like a slick back bun or ponytail or something like that, where I didn't feel like I looked beautiful, then that's when I knew it was because I was judging my hair based on the texture. Because looser curls, some people who have looser curls, they have that kind of shiny, glowy hair. And my hair doesn't do that. And so I started to be, my bun look like so-and-so's, and like, why can't I just use EOS? Or not EOS, that's lip balm. Eco gel, you know? Those three, what are those? Is it three main categories? Length. No, I really just think it's like length and texture. Length and texture were the biggest barriers for me seeing myself as beautiful with my hair. And for me, affirmations has always been a really big thing. Like, affirmations has really fundamentally changed the way I view and see certain things in life. So I started doing hair affirmations, if you will. And I started speaking positively in the mirror about my hair, about the way that I looked with my hair. When I wash my hair, I say affirmations. I started to change the way I saw myself, and I started to feel beautiful, and I started to feel like, okay, all right, okay, girl. And I will say, I do feel beautiful with my natural hair now. I've gotten to that place where I feel beautiful, where I feel like I'm not ashamed or feel unattractive. I haven't got to the place where I necessarily feel sexy. And I think that's like similar with my glasses. Like, when I wear my glasses, I don't feel sexy. With my contacts on, a little mascara, and I'm like, you know? So I think that's something that I'm still working on transparently. It's like feeling sexy with like certain natural hairstyles, or just like my natural hair in general. And at a certain point, while I was on the journey of saying affirmations and embracing my hair and just loving the way that I looked, at some point my ego took the driver's seat. I started viewing other Black women subconsciously. Like, I never said this out loud to anyone. I never commented on another woman's post or anything like that, but subconsciously I started to feel like I was better than other Black women who weren't wearing their natural hair out. And I started to, in my head, somehow believe that they did not love themselves. That became a large portion of the fuel of how I moved throughout the world, and how I had confidence. How I don't understand how I got there. I really don't. And look at that. That pretty. And this was all subconscious. It was all subconscious, because I never verbally put anyone down, but I believed that. Like, I believed that that they didn't love themselves, and that, oh, look at me, I'm a Black woman who loves herself, and I don't need a bust down or blah, 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 blah. Like, it just was like, the energy got real nasty. I don't quite remember what the turning point was. I don't know. Because I was like trying a bunch of different natural hairstyles. Like, I was doing twist outs and wash and goes and this, and I was just loving. But at one point, I like took a step back and I zoomed out, and I just thought to myself, how unkind to my Black sisters of me to look at the way that they are maneuvering throughout the world and judge them and think that they're less than, when really all they're doing is surviving. That's all they're doing is surviving. They're choosing to exist and show up in the world in the way that makes sense for them. And here I go, having the audacity to judge them or think that they're less than because they have a sew-in or a quick weave or braids, or, you know, like. And I just checked myself, and I was like, that's so unkind. And not to mention, who's to say that they've even been taught how to care for their hair? Who's to say they even know how to begin that? And who's to say that's even their desire? Maybe they don't want to wear their natural hair, and it's not about self-hate. Maybe it's just about lifestyle. Maybe it's about aesthetic preferences. Like, there's so many things, and I just think we have to stop the hair wars, and we have to stop the infighting across the diaspora when it comes to certain things. No other woman on this earth is policed in the way that a Black woman's body is policed. The way that Black women are policed for their hair, for wearing a bonnet, for not wearing a bonnet, for the way her hair is, and oh, can you see her lace, and oh, her hair looks dry, her hair looks this, like, I'm proud of myself for recognizing that, for just being self-aware and coming to terms with the fact, girl, don't be on no weird time. If you see a Black woman out with the bust down, compliment her or go on about your business. If you see a girl with a cute braid out, a cute twist out, cute bantus, compliment or go on about your way. Don't go projecting these unspoken superiorities to them just because they're not wearing their natural hair. That's been my stance for the past, I'd say, maybe like a few months now. Maybe like 3 or 4 months. And I noticed when I started minding my business, my hair started growing. When I stopped putting, unreasonable expectations and policing other Black women and trying to say if they love or don't love themselves, my hair started growing. So you know what? You gotta mind your business in life. You got to mind your business in life. Overall, to other Black women with 4C hair, I would say highly recommend finding a natural hairstylist in your area, going to them and figuring out what your hair porosity is, because I always just assumed, oh, I have 4C hair, so that means I need thick greases and butters and oils. And what was happening was I was weighing my hair down, but I wasn't actually moisturizing it because the whole time my hair was low porosity. So I was weighing my hair down. My hair was breaking off because it was weighed down, but yet still dry because it wasn't, like, the moisture wasn't penetrating my scalp and the follicles and stuff. And so once I figured all of those things out, I really see the difference in my hair. Not just like the physical health of it, but just the way I approach it. And there are moments where I'm like, ooh, don't really know what to do with it, or I don't feel like doing my hair, which is fine. It's just about how you talk about your hair. Like, in the moments where I don't feel like doing my hair, like even right now, even before I got on camera, I really wanted to do flat twists, but I'm not the best at parting. I never have been, so I was getting frustrated. But the frustration didn't make me start talking down on my texture or my length or the coarseness or whatever with my hair. It was just like, ooh, I'm tired after work. I really wish I could part this, but it is what it is. I wasn't talking down on my hair, being like, well, if I didn't have 4C hair, none of that happened. How we talk about our hair to ourselves. How do we view and interact with other Black women, like from the space of a mirror. And now I have wigs, I've had braids, I've had all kinds, still haven't had a sew-in. I have not had a sew-in. I really want to try it, but I'm worried about tension because I get overstimulated, and I'm worried that the amount of tension that it takes for a sew-in, I would get overstimulated and want to take it out, and then it'd be a waste of my money. Because even quick weaves, I also have this thing where I need to feel my scalp. Like, I can't go too long without, like, my scalp being able to be free. Like, even when I do quick weaves, I'm just moving all around in my chair. I have one of those, like, swivel chairs that you can put your feet up. Quick weaves, I end up taking them out pretty quick. No pun intended. Because I be wanting to feel my scalp. So I don't know about a sew-in, but I do like crochets. And then I have access to my scalp. All in all, and quickly, like, while we're on natural hair, I really hate that we're in mixed company and everyone now has an opinion about bonnets. Like, I wish we could go back to where, like, people didn't know what bonnets were. I saw this video on TikTok where this girl's friends had called the police because they were worried about her safety, because her location wasn't where it should have been or where she communicated, and they all were frantically trying to tell the police and catch them up so they could try to find their friend who they felt like was in serious danger. And I looked at the comments and it was a bunch of people with memes and stuff for profile pictures, and also just non-black people being like, oh, look at the bonnet girls, bonnet crew, bonnet this, bonnet that, trying to call them ratchet and ghetto for wearing their bonnets outside. They're trying to save their friend's life, and y'all are missing the plot. If a black woman wants to wear their bonnet outside, who cares? Who cares? At first I was like, yeah, don't be wearing your bonnet outside. Like, nah, that's gross. Like, I don't wear my outside clothes in my bed, so I'm not gonna wear my bonnet. Shut up. I literally had to tell myself to shut up. And I don't really do that often because, like, obviously I want to be kind in the way that I talk to myself. But I had to check myself, like, for real, girl, shut up. Who cares what they're doing with their bonnet? Maybe they don't have their hair done. Maybe their hair is done and they don't feel like taking their rollers out or their curl pins out. Or maybe, like, they are simply just existing. We have to stop policing black women for every little thing that they do. It's like, okay, you don't want black women to wear their bonnets out. If they wear a wig, it's like, oh, lace there, I can see her lace. Then it's like, okay, she wears her natural hair out. Then it's like, oh, she looking like she from the 70s. And it's like, okay, we've now been conditioned that nothing is safe from critique and nothing is glorified. If a black woman wears wigs only and she does them in a way to where you can't really see the lace, and it's like, oh, we got to get back to loving ourselves, we got to get back to embracing us. At this point, I hope we all can see that it's just designed to make us fight and bicker and argue, and we don't need to do that. We don't need to do that. I just think it's like sad more than anything, and I want more people, more black women to just get to the point where they don't care what other people say about their hair, that they don't care about other people's opinions. And these braids are getting chunkier and chunkier because I just want to take a shower, brush my teeth, floss, and go to sleep. And honestly, it's been so hot out, I'm not even sure that like the waviness of my braids are gonna last against the humidity. And I want us to get to more of a place of unity where you can see in the comments, if you see a woman with 4C hair, either people are just saying, oh wow, that's really cute, or your hair looks nice, or they're not saying anything at all. I want us to get out of the place where we're tearing each other down. Or you see a woman with the wig and it's like, you go in the comments, I don't want to see, oh, her lace is this, or she need to do this, or I just want it to either be an encouragement or be quiet and keep the thoughts to yourself, because we do not exist in a vacuum. Whenever we as black people say negative things to each other, it makes non-black people feel like it's okay. And then now they are saying the thing. I have gotten to the place where I bought a wig for my birthday. And what was it? What's the texture? I don't really remember the name of the texture. But anyways, it's really cute. But as I've been wearing that wig, I realized, like, I don't really like the way I look with that texture of hair anymore. I primarily like more kinkier texture styles. Like, I have a kinky straight wig. I love it. Her name is, what did I name my wig? Keisha? I don't know. The wig that's like more straight, I think it's like a body wave or something like that, like a Brazilian body wave or something. I think I named her Grace. Yeah, that's Grace. But my other wig, the kinky straight, I love her. Like, I really think it fits me and it looks really cute. So I think my taste is evolving the more I embrace my natural hair and have killed my ego and don't view myself as superior to women who don't wear their natural hair and inferior to women who wear like wigs and stuff and wear their hair in ways that are like more traditionally accepted from a societal standpoint, like more focused on me and my journey versus comparisons. And I hope you feel beautiful. I hope you come up with hair affirmations that help you in your journey. And overall, I hope you just remember to love yourself and understand that we have been conditioned and raised in a society to see our hair as less beautiful, and there is an act of resistance and revolution within that, and that's not caring what other people say, what other people think, and doing what makes you feel beautiful, and understanding that you can be conventionally attractive because convention is just widely accepted. That's basically all that means. So if you widely accept yourself, baby, you're conventionally attractive. You become the convention. You become the standard. You don't need anybody. You don't need to beg to be at anybody's table. You are beautiful because you say so, because you think so. Nobody can take that away from you. Once you got it in your mind, once you start walking in it, once you start looking in that mirror, hyping yourself up, can't nobody take that smile from your face. Can't nobody take that joy from your soul. No one is gonna knock on your door. Society's not gonna knock on your door and be like, we're sorry we made you feel like you were ugly. How can we help? They're not gonna do that. It's up to you. You decide you're the bomb.com. You decide you're beautiful. You decide you're a baddie with your afro. You decide you're a baddie with your wig. You decide you're a baddie with your box braids, with your knotless, with your miracle. Whatever you have, you decide that you're beautiful. You give off that frequency. You walk in that. And you're gonna believe it. And the people who are aligned and meant to be in your life are gonna believe it. And that's all that matters. And also, attraction is subjective. I'm sure there's no one on this earth who is attractive to every other person. It's just okay. It's just a fact. There's some people who probably think I am gorgeous, I am beautiful, and there's some people that think I am but ugly, and that's okay. I don't need to win the approval of everyone else. How do I see myself? I see myself as a beautiful Black woman with beautiful 4C hair. And that's it, that's all. Queen, love yourself, believe in yourself, lift up other queens, even if the way that they wear their hair is different than yours, even if it's not something you would do for yourself. It's not about that. It's about unity, embracing the community, and letting self-love, self-expression, and Black girl magic and Black joy be the revolution. Be the freaking revolution. Now, if I turn around and I realize that I still have another section of this to braid, I will be a little sad because I want to take a shower and go to bed. Okay, it's all braided. I really like this leave-in conditioner too. Hold on, I don't want to spray my glasses. Another thing, because I'm embracing my texture, I've been talking to myself about my hair affirmations. I had to realize I cannot shy away from shrinkage, because in order to help my hair not shrink, I would have to decrease the moisture. If I'm focusing on length retention and health, I need to moisturize my hair. It's like, so at that point, I need to not care about shrinkage and understand that my hair is still beautiful, even in a shrunken state. Thank you for tuning into another episode of Tavi Talks. I hope you have a good rest of your day or night.